Welcome back to Writing Done Right. Well, today we are going to ask a very simple question. Do I need an ISBN number? And then we're going to look at the various arguments on today's Writing Done Right. All right, so the ISBN number. This, of course, is the International Book Number and has what International Serial Book Number, I think, is what it stands for. Regardless, you know what it is. Now, what is the ISBN? Well, it is a number that is unique to the book and that actually does more than, it's more than just a random string of numbers. Embedded in that number contains the country code where the book is published in. It contains a link to the publisher itself. That number is embedded, and then a unique number for that. So, do you need one such number? Well, a lot of this depends on your distribution strategy. So before you get to the point where you're questioning this, you need to have already asked these questions. What is my distribution strategy? Now, there's really no right or wrong answer in this. In fact, I shared a video on my personal distribution strategy, which you can go ahead and have a look at in the I'll leave it up there in the comments and carded to this video as well if you want to know what I'm doing personally. So first and foremost, we need to ask this question. Are we self-publishing or are we publishing through any form of publisher? So I actually own an indie publishing company, so I'll publish my books and other ones, which is a Christian publisher, although we do some other non-Christian stuff as well. In any time you're dealing with a publisher, indie or more traditional publishing, you do not need an ISBN number because remember how I said the ISBN number is linked to your publisher. So if you are getting your book published, then you are going to be assigned an ISBN number by your publisher. Now, even if you are doing the vanity press, which you do not want to do, and I have a video about why you don't want to do vanity press, they will also assign you an ISBN number, so you do not need one in that case. Now, if you are self-publishing, you may need one, you may not need one. It depends on where you are listing your book from. So there are groups like Lulu, and there is Ingram Spark, and there is KDP, and there's probably a few other ones out there as well. Now, the two that I have worked with are Ingram Spark and KDP. Both are integral parts of my personal distribution strategy. Now, Ingram Spark. If you're doing anything through Ingram Spark, then yes, you need an ISBN number. You have to have one assigned to list on Ingram Spark. They do not list their own numbers because technically they are not a publisher, whereas KDP is both a distribution partner and a publisher. And so if you're choosing to go the KDP route and you want to do your books all throughout the world, not just on Amazon properties, you then need to decide, are you going to do KDP with their extended network, or are you going to do KDP for Amazon properties and something else like Ingram Spark to take advantage of that? That's going to raise its own individual questions. So it boils down like this. If you're doing KDP and you want to use Amazon's extended distribution, which means it will go onto the Amazon properties, but they will push the print books out through the rest of the world, you do not need an ISBN number. In fact, you cannot use a separate ISBN number. You have to use the ISBN number that Amazon has given you. So if you're going in and you're doing KDP and you only want to do KDP, it's irrelevant. You can use your own number or you may not have to. But if you're doing Amazon and their extended distribution, then you have to use Amazon's ISBN and you do not want to buy one for yourself. Now, I did list in another video about the dangers of doing that. It's because that the royalties are very low for any Amazon KDP distributed book that's not sold on Amazon. So I don't like that method. So if you are giving your own number to your system, to your book, in that case, you cannot use the extended distribution, but you do want to list it so you can do Amazon properties through KDP and something else like Ingram Spark with anything else. Note, you cannot have a book with 2 ISBNs assigned to the same edition. So you can't use Amazon's number and Ingram Spark with a different number for the same book. You can't do that. So that's why you have to understand your distribution strategy. Now, what's my overall recommendation? I think that overall you're going to want that ISBN for yourself. And the reason is, there's a few of those. The first is the Amazon expanded distribution gives you really bad royalties. If you're going to be selling the books anywhere in addition to Amazon, use another account like Ingram or any of the other multi-listing services to get your book out there, and all of those are going to need an ISBN. Unless they're doing something where they're giving you one, in which case you can't use Amazon's either. It's just a giant mess. The second reason is that it increases the likelihood of a retail outlet carrying your book. So remember how I said that if you're using KDP with their expanded distribution and you're using the ISBN that Amazon assigns you, well, those, like I said, are linked to the publisher. And most small bookstores do not like carrying books that are originating from Amazon because that's their biggest creator or their biggest competitor that is doing damage to their company. And so they may not want to carry that if your only ISBN numbers on the back is from Amazon. Additionally, though, to carry a book in a retail outlet, you generally also need the EIN 5 number or the barcode, and you cannot get that on an Amazon assigned number. I mean, I guess you could. It's theoretically possible, but it's not actually what Amazon does when they slap that number on there. Is you get the raw 9,000. That kind of prevents other bookstores from carrying it, which kind of forces you to sell through Amazon. It's a little bit of a sneaky tactic in the publishing world. Now, the next reason why I like getting the ISBN personally is more professional. You want to have your book quality as professional as you can be. And when you look to the back and you see a basic ISBN and with a 9,000 after it because there's no EIN 5, it doesn't look quite as professional. And I actually did that on Testing and Temptations back there. Well, there you go. That blue book right back there. That was one of the first books that I did when I first got into publishing here, and I do not have an official barcode on the back of that book, so it doesn't particularly look good because of that respect. But regardless, eventually I'll redo the cover and fix that when I do, but in the meantime, it's okay how it is. The other books that I have all have the correct numbers and barcodes, and those are, those will be just fine. So overall, those are my ideas. I personally recommend getting the ISBN. That also, though, means that I'm not going to be distributing through Amazon exclusively. And then, of course, I did a separate video where on the working with book cover templates, I showed you how you can get the barcode for free through Ingram. I'll do maybe a separate video on that altogether, but you can actually watch that video and learn how you can get your own barcode for free out of that. But anyway, that is the question. Do you need an ISBN number? I personally say I like doing the investment. And since I write a lot of books, you can buy, I think you can buy like 10 of them for like $200 or $300 or something if you buy them 10 at a time, which honestly is a good deal for me. So regardless, those are my takes. Let me know your thoughts on the barcodes and ISBNs and whatnot in the comments down below.